daily driver is a GT3 and I'm waiting on RS. And I make good use of it on the Autobahn.
Okay. Well, I have a Continental GT Bentley, which I use sort of for going to smart events, and a ragtop Jeep for running around town, and I have a Ferrari 550 in Maranello in the garage, and alongside it my Porsche 924 Carrera GTS, which is one of 25 they built, which the sister car I raced at Le Mans. So it's pretty special. I use it quite a lot, the GTS a lot. And Porsche Classic uses it a lot of their events. Well, they call me like the guys joke that I'm a traveling gypsy because I don't really live anywhere. I just go from racetrack to racetrack. So if I'm in Germany, I have a GT3 RS or a GT4.
That's how gypsies live, right?
Yeah, exactly. If I eventually go home, the only car I own is a Honda City, if anyone knows what that is. And I also have I actually have a 1979 Toyota Corona, which I put a 1JZ GTE engine, so it has 400 or 500 horsepower in this car. So that's the only things that I own.
Questions? Over here. Oh, gentleman in the back's been waiting here.
Derek, earlier you were talking about young drivers developing. What do you think about the use of driver simulation devices, you know, where they sit at a computer and a big screen and learn the course?
Well, I mean, anything you can do to pull one over the next driver, you have to do. We didn't have much of that. At least if you did, you didn't believe it because it wasn't very realistic. And I'm sure you're going to say that from, you know, if you go back 15 years, you don't like, I mean, I just think you should get out and drive a bloody car and be done with it. And I often see, I remember when we were doing the development of the Bentley Le Mans car, and they kept on saying, this computer says this, computer says that. I said, the track, when you go to Le Mans, is different to the test weekend where you were there 4 weeks before. And you go out, the track's the main road, it's the highway. And you can't get the time you got 4 weeks before, but as the day goes on, the track comes to you. But by then you change the car so much, you actually have to go back to where you started from. And I know we're going a bit away from what you're saying about simulators, but it's still the fact you've got to believe that the car will do it because it did it before, and you can do it because you're capable, and you need time in it. We never had time, we had to go and earn a living somewhere else. We couldn't go and sit at simulators all day, sort of learning the next racetrack. And we did a film years ago called Incar 956, which is a film in the Porsche 956 around, well, 956, around all the World Championship races, including Nürburgring. And a lot of the guys, the young guys like this would sort of say, what was that film again? I want to watch it. And they could learn the Nürburgring, really learn it, in the seat of a real car. And simulators today are so damn brilliant, they're the same, if not better than a real car. But there weren't ways in my day to learn the traffic. We used to go to a place like here and we'd walk it. You know, first time round I raced in my life in America, Watkins Glen, New York, Formula One for Ferrari. And I walked around Watkins Glen with Jackie Oliver, who was racing for Lotus. That's how I learned Watkins Glen. I went and did the Grand Prix. And I think the only way for these guys to really learn it is to walk it or cycle it. You go round and round on your own, very quietly. Sorry?
Even cycling's not good. It's not really what you need to be done there.
I mean, I'm from the era with the simulators, and I don't use them, actually. I don't use anything. The only thing I do is walk. Because when you walk a track, it's like reading a book. You can stand in the apex and look at the curves and the bumps, and it tells you where you need to drive. And it's exactly what you're saying with the law, you know. You have these numbers, but it's forever changing. You know, and I did a lot of simulator work. We do it for the LMP1, but just for the systems, and for the boost strategy. But as a pure driving, I did the simulation for Spa, and I know the Rouge was flat easily in 7th, and hasn't come on, it's not like that. And it's only a factor of grip, and you can change your car model with the grip up and down, and the track grip up and down. So
but track grip's ever changing, and so is car grip. So you don't know wherever you are. And like with the simulator, we undershot or we were too slow by 6 seconds, and we have all that technology, and we still can't get it right. So it's only a tool for certain things. So, you know, at the end of the day, driving is driving. Unfortunately for me, what I don't like is the way the tracks are going. Like, you see some modern day Formula 1 circuits, it's only a competition to put the car between two white lines, which is like driving in a car park. It's not a proper track like if you go to Elkhart Lake or, you know, you come here at Laguna Seca, it's a proper racing track. Rather, unfortunately, some have car parks full of tarmac afterwards, and you drive between white lines, which is not the best anymore. So, you know, it's an ever-changing thing, but for me still the best is walking and seeing, because the tarmac changes with the heat and everything like that as well, and the balance changes, so it's okay, but it's nothing great that you can take anything serious from.
Yeah, for me the biggest difference between a simulator and a race car actually is their consequences. Hello? Good morning. Hello? So the biggest difference for me is there's actually consequences in the race car. And that's one thing I was missing during the WEC races. It's all the modern F1 tracks. As Earl said, you're just trying to stay between two white lines, and now coming back to the States, I really enjoy the driving again, because you know when you make a mistake, either the car is damaged or you might even get hurt, and I think that's a different skill level.
Question?
So my question sort of a follow-up, and I'd just like to sort of compare Derek and your guys' thinking on, today you have all of this data that you can read, and Derek didn't have that, and so there's still art to driving like you were just talking about. So maybe you guys can comment about what kinds of data you relied on that, you know, in the 917, 956s, and also what kind of data you guys rely on. I mean, what couple of things do you really look for when you're trying to debrief after a session?
Well, obviously, my little few words will be very short, because we didn't really have anything to look at. But I have to say, when we just drove, and that's all you could do, and we knew nothing about G-forces or anything, we never did. And of course, you couldn't do wind tunnel testing. I mean, we went to Le Mans, first time ever with the 917 Longtail, which the Martini car there, but I was in the Gulf car. And you know, after a day of testing at Le Mans, without chicanes, of course, Norman Singer said to me, "How many revs are you pulling?" And I said, "The best I ever saw was 8,100. "Ah, that is good, because at 8.2 she blows up." So I then had a new respect for German sort of precision. I'd been at Ferrari, and they just said, "Take it to the rev limiter and shift gear." And then he got his slide rule out, because we didn't have computers in those days. Walking across the paddock, and I know some of you probably heard the story, but walking across the paddock, and he starts to laugh. And I said, "What are you laughing at?" He said, "I just calculated your top speed." I said, "Well, what the hell is it then?" And he said, "I think it better you don't know." And I said, "Look, if Joe and me and Pedro, Jackie, Joe and Pedro and I were to race these two cars, it's nice to know what your top speed is." It's just a nice thought, you know. And he laughed some more. He said, "Okay, allowing for tire expansion, tire growth," he said, "that's 396 k's, which is 246 miles an hour." And we were doing that every lap down around the kink and down to the corner. And people say, "You must be bloody mad." And we look at the cars now and we say, "Yeah, we were." But in reality, well, you would have done the ride with you. Any discussion. You wouldn't have got in here. But, you know, this drive, everybody would have had a go, because it was the best car in the world. We could win races, although we didn't win that one. And then the only slightly technical was when we got in with the 962s and 956s at Le Mans. We had a fuel restriction. You know, so much fuel like they do today per lap, or we had it per race. And that was quite tricky, because you could do 11 laps, 12 laps, or 13 laps on a tank of gas at Le Mans. And so, but you have to decide yourself whether you wanted to go for 11 laps, which meant you're going to go bloody fast, but use fuel, or go for 12 laps or 13 laps would be more economical, so you'd have to turn the boost down, but it would save you 20 pit stops. So you had to work that one out. And it's a hell of a lot, no, I don't mean 20, I mean 4 pit stops or something like that, but you know, it's a lot of time. 4 pit stops, 4 minutes, 16 minutes. So you can see that by being economical. Now, we weren't going slowly, we were going like bloody bandits around the corner, but down the streets we were turning off 911s to save fuel, and it was very frustrating.
Yeah, coming back to the data, nowadays, even in the RSR, we have pretty much everything on sensors that you can think of. For us as drivers, I personally look at the basics that I need to know. So throttle position, steering wheel angle, speed, what else? Brake pressure, drive line, those basic things that you can see if you're losing or gaining somewhere. Obviously, the gain and loss calculation of time compared to your teammate or whoever that you have the data from. And then obviously the engineers go into details from damper sensors to differential, what the differential is doing and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty complex and a lot of work, that's why there's so many engineers there.